What is the Tibetan Book of the Dead? Despite its name, it isn't a single book. It's a collection of texts from the Nyingma school of Tibetan Buddhism. A well-known part is the Bardo Thodol, which means liberation through hearing during the intermediate state. These writings describe the experiences a person goes through between death and rebirth. They provide instructions for the dying person and those around them. The goal? To help the deceased find liberation or a good rebirth. The book was written in the 8th century by the Buddhist master Padmasambhava. It was hidden away until discovered in the 14th century by Karma Lingpa. It has become an important text in Tibetan Buddhism and gained popularity in the West. The Tibetan Book of the Dead focuses on 3 stages or bardos a person experiences after death. The Chikai Bardo, this is the moment of death when the clear light of reality appears. If a person can merge with this light, it offers a chance for liberation. The Chonyid Bardo, in this stage, the person encounters peaceful and wrathful deities. These are projections of their own mind, and recognizing them as such can lead to liberation. The Sidpa Bardo, this is the stage where rebirth occurs. The deceased sees visions of possible future lives and is drawn toward a new birth based on their karma. One teaching from the Tibetan Book of the Dead is the practice of phawa, or consciousness transference. This is considered a method for directing one's consciousness at the moment of death, influencing the quality of rebirth, or achieving liberation. Phawa is a Vajrayana Buddhist practice that involves transferring one's consciousness to a pure land or realm of a Buddha at the time of death. The word phawa means transference in Tibetan. It's a method of ejecting consciousness from the body through the crown of the head. In Tibetan Buddhism, the way a person dies impacts their future rebirth. Phawa ensures a positive transition, even for those who may not have achieved high levels of realization during their lifetime. The basic principle of Phawa involves visualizing a pathway from the heart to the crown of the head. Practitioners imagine their consciousness as a small sphere of light traveling up this pathway and exiting through the crown. The practitioner visualizes a Buddha or enlightened being above their head. The goal is to merge one's consciousness with the wisdom mind of this enlightened being at the moment of death. There are levels of phawa practice, ranging from simple to complex. Aspiration phawa, the simplest form, which involves making a strong wish to be reborn in a pure land. Visualization phawa involves the basic visualization of transferring consciousness as described earlier. Guru Yoga phawa, the practitioner visualizes merging their consciousness with that of their spiritual teacher. Pure Land phawa, the practitioner aims to transfer their consciousness to a specific pure land, such as Amitabha's Sukhavati. Dharmakaya phawa, the most advanced form in which consciousness is transferred directly into the ultimate nature of reality. While phawa is practiced at the moment of death, it requires preparation during life. Practitioners should do the following: receive teachings from a qualified teacher, practice the visualizations regularly, learn to recognize signs of successful practice, such as sensations at the crown of the head, cultivate a strong connection with a particular Buddha or enlightened being. Phawa isn't just for death. Many practitioners incorporate elements of phawa into their daily meditation practice. This helps purify negative states of mind during life. Some use a simplified version of phawa when falling asleep, visualizing their consciousness merging with a Buddha. This practice makes sleep meaningful and prepares for a similar process at the time of death. Phawa should never be used to hasten death. In Buddhist ethics, life is precious, and prematurely ending it is considered a serious adverse action. Phawa is meant to be practiced at the natural time of death. Some researchers have noted that experienced practitioners may exhibit physical signs during phawa practice, such as a slight swelling or redness at the crown of the head. Focused visualization and controlled breathing involved in phawa affect brain activity and stress levels. Some scientists speculate that these practices could influence the dying process. There's been growing interest in phawa among Western Buddhists. Many find comfort in having some control over the dying process. Additionally, some palliative care programs have incorporated elements of phawa into their end-of-life care. Phawa isn't about avoiding death. It's about gaining awareness throughout life and death. It transforms death into an opportunity for spiritual realization. The Tibetan Book of the Dead isn't just for reading after someone dies, it's meant to be practiced during life. Here are some key teachings. Meditation. Regular meditation calms the mind, which is crucial for recognizing the experiences of the bardos. Familiarization with the bardos. The book encourages studying the descriptions of the after-death states to be prepared when encountering them. Cultivating positive qualities. Developing compassion and wisdom during life leads to better experiences in the bardos and a favorable rebirth. Letting go. Releasing attachments to this life makes the transition at death easier. The Tibetan Book of the Dead comes from a specific cultural context, but many find its teachings valuable regardless of their beliefs. Here are some ways it can be applied. Facing mortality encourages confronting the reality of death, which can lead to living a more meaningful life. Dealing with loss offers comfort and perspective when grieving for loved ones. Mindfulness. Its emphasis on awareness aligns well with modern mindfulness practices. End-of-life care. Some hospices incorporate its ideas to support dying patients and their families. Like any religious text, the Tibetan Book of the Dead has its critics. Cultural appropriation. Some express concern that Western interest in the book removes it from its cultural and spiritual context. Difficulty. The text can be challenging to understand without a background in Tibetan Buddhism. Scientific skepticism. Many of its claims about the afterlife cannot be verified through scientific methods. Despite these criticisms, many find value in the book's teachings, even if they approach it metaphorically or philosophically rather than literally. Whether a spiritual guide, a philosophical text, or a cultural artifact, the Tibetan Book of the Dead encourages us to think deeply about our existence and how we want to live. The author of this script was C.L. Nichols. Please subscribe to our channel for more informative videos.